Hello. My question's here. Go ahead and invite. All right. We're about to have a great time, y'all. About to have a great time, okay? So, hope you guys are excited. Hey, besties. Okay? Hope you guys are very, very excited. First, okay? Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Good. Oh, thank you, Bestie. Okay, I got the glasses from Firmu. Okay, Firmu. Okay, Nashville. We see everybody coming in. We love to see it. This is very, very exciting. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yes. So we are super excited, y'all. Super, super excited. So we just want to make sure that our other guests joining in. Okay. Join to make sure. But yes, as y'all are coming in, thank y'all so much for just coming on live. It's hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. First, y'all day. How's y'all? First off, how's that going?
Good. Yours?
Good. Had a lot of stuff going on. So we're getting through it. But
Good.
yes, so to talk about this.
Yeah, this Monday didn't Monday too bad, so I think we okay.
Yeah.
Feel that.
Yes, this Monday, actually, because I'm in Chicago right now, this Monday is a little cold on my end. I'm like, it's a little cold
Oh,
right
it
now.
is?
For me personally, I feel like for me it's cold. So I don't know. Any besties in Chicago, y'all let me know if it's cold. For me personally, I was a little chilly. I don't know. I was just a little chilly. So conversation. All right. Hey guys, welcome to our first live talking about psoriasis and just how it affects Black women in general, right? So we just want to first introduce our guest, but just want to introduce myself. My name is Jessica. I, him from Black Girl Vitamin. Also, if you see me, so okay, anything post on social media, it's me.
Oh, period.
So yeah, so go ahead. You guys can either or can introduce yourself.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah. Okay, I'm Nia Renee. I am the owner of, or the creator of How to Love a Battered Woman, and I am a survivor of psoriasis. And it's been a journey, I'll tell you that much.
I'm Brianne Standerford Barrett. I'm an internal medicine doctor out here in Michigan, and I work with Black Girl Vitamins on the medical side. Excited to talk about this today.
Yeah, me too. Super excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
No, definitely. I'm super excited to have the conversation. So let's actually dive in. Also, if any of you guys have any questions, you guys can go ahead and put into the question box. We'll go ahead and answer those questions at the end, as well as if you also want to come and join in and kind of like ask the question live, we'll absolutely let that happen as well if we do have some time. But honestly, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, first question. So let's actually like ask just from both perspectives, what actually is psoriasis, right? So we can hear from the doctor, and then we also hear from you, Nia, just kind of like how that goes.
Go ahead, Dr. B.
Yeah, so psoriasis, oh my goodness. Psoriasis is going to be a condition where the top layer of the skin, which we call epidermis, so that top layer is essentially is causing flakes. The skin cells are just kind of flaking themselves. We don't really have a rhyme or reason why it happens. I personally suffer from eczema. So eczema and psoriasis actually look very, very similar. Eczema, on the other hand, is like your body itself attacking your skin. Whereas psoriasis, we think that there's a lot of genetics that play into it. So like if you have a mom or dad that have psoriasis, you have a really high likelihood of getting it too. And then there's also some ideas about there's these cells that we have in the body that help fight off infection. Sometimes those cells can kind of go awry and cause these skin plaques that you see and we know to be psoriasis.
But isn't it sort of autoimmune as well?
There is some thought about it, but right now there isn't any like differentiation about this autoantibody. Like for example, with lupus, we have an autoantibody that we know can cause it, but from what I've seen clinically, like it looks different in every single person.
Yeah. I was always told, like I was told since I was a kid, like probably like 8 or 9 years old, that I had psoriasis, not knowing what that even meant, and it not being treated or getting taken care of or anything. So I was told it was psoriasis, and I was told it was dermatitis, and then I got allegedly, when I had gotten a scalp biopsy, they told me that I didn't have psoriasis, and then another doctor looked at it and was like, you do have psoriasis. So and I know that if you have psoriasis, that it can also cause psoriatic arthritis as well, which oftentimes affects the hands, the joints in the fingers, in the hands and stuff, which I do have some joint inflammation in my fingers off and on. But when I was, in 2015, I thought I was going into the Air Force. So I was like, I don't really need hair. I'm kind of over it right now anyway, since I'm about to go to the Air Force. So I just kind of bicked my scalp, shaved it off, cut it all off. And when I did, like my scalp was so red and patchy and dry, and it just was so damaged. You could see how sick my scalp was. But that was kind of the reasons why, because I was losing hair. Like hair was like falling out by like, because I used to have my hair individually braided. So only way I really knew how to do my hair, because I wasn't taught how to do my hair. So I just kept it in braids, and I was losing braids by like from the scalp. Like I have a permanent like bald spot, like like you can see that right there. I have a permanent bald spot from how bad my psoriasis really got. So since then, I was like, I kind of fell in love with it. You know, I didn't go to the Air Force or anything. Kind of fell in love with it, and then I just was like, I'm gonna just rock this bald fade, and I've been in love with it ever since. But it does help me be able to get my scalp under control, and keep it at a, keep it all under control and stuff. So
definitely. I think one question, kind of like going off of that, right? Like you kind of like cut your hair and things like that. I guess more because with me, sometimes I do kind of like see flakiness and like a lot of flakes. So for me, I actually do not like wearing braids for a week max. So I just have to learn how to do my own hair, because I'm not going to pay like $400 for braids and then have to pay for a week because my scalp is up. So I think the biggest thing is kind of like, when it comes to that, like confidence, how was that? And then also for you, Dr. Standifer, like what are some ways that kind of like to treat that, especially within the scalp, because you're hearing that you can't pick it, because if you pick it, it causes more things. So what should be done in order to kind of treat that? But also like for you, how was like confidence for that as well?
For me, I felt like I was at the last resort. I didn't know what else to do. And I was told I had this condition. I was told to use medicated shampoo, but it just got to a place where it just was so out of control that like I couldn't function. It was starting to spread to my face, and just I had to really figure out how to get it under control. So the only thing I could think of was like, I'm gonna just cut it. Hair is hair, it'll grow back. I'm gonna just cut it off, keep it short, medicate my scalp, do what I gotta do, and then if I decide to grow it back, I'll grow it back. So I actually cut it short enough to where I was like, if I didn't like it, I didn't like the way it looked, then it's short enough to where I can, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and toss some individual braids back in there. But I actually ended up loving it, so I kept it, and so that's why my hair is, stayed at the same length that it is right now. So I mean even shorter. Like I have like my head is bald, like you know what I'm saying. So I keep my hair very, very short. I only have a turban on right now because I just had brain surgery 6 weeks ago, and I'm not ready to show the scar that's right here or anything yet. But that, so I kind of like saw it, and then I was like, okay, and then I loved it. But at first I was embarrassed because when I cut it off, like you could just see the discoloration all over my scalp. Like you could see how badly it really affected my scalp. I'm gonna see if I can pull up some pictures too. But you can see how badly it like really affected my scalp. And so like that was embarrassing because like obviously just the way my skin looked, I didn't like that at all. But outside of that, I was like, dang, I kind of like not having hair. And I look good without having hair. Like, let's go.
You do, girl. You do. You rocking it.
Thank you.
I love
Yeah,
it.
we love to. And thanks so much for sharing. I think that like when I see people in the office all the time, that's the biggest thing for me. It's not even like necessarily treating it. It's actually getting people feeling confident and strong again, because this is so disabling and disfiguring. But to your question about treating particularly scalp psoriasis, is by far probably one of the most difficult things to treat, because typically we tell people you can use like topical steroids or topical vitamin D, but how the heck do you put that on your scalp? Like, you know what I mean? Like how, like that's difficult. So there's a bunch of other formulations out now. We call them vehicles to get the therapy in the hair. And you have your shampoos, you have your foams, you have all of that that you can actually apply to the scalp. And then like back in the day, we used to use a bunch of like tar. So there are some tar-based shampoos, like Neutrogena has one that you can actually use onto the scalp as well. But to your point, it's probably one of the most difficult to treat areas. I will say, like, if there is, and I'm happy that Nia shared that part where she went to one doctor, they said it was psoriasis, then they said it wasn't. We get a lot of that because people come to me having Googled their illnesses, right? But unfortunately, psoriasis, especially in Black skin, can look like a lot of different other things. Like it can look like eczema. You can have fungus. You can have seborrheic dermatitis. So there's a bunch of other things that in our skin, because of the melanin, you know, it can look like something else. So I always say, "Oh wow,
Oh wow, yeah.
thanks for sharing, Nia."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Um,
that a lot.
the front bit. You can't really see the back very well because I took these from a video, but yeah, it was really bad.
Thank you.
And that was after cutting it. That was like after a couple of years, and like I had started to like grow my hair back a little bit, and I actually you know I dyed it blonde, and then you know, certain things or whatever. And then I just kind of felt the irritation on my head again. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. So then I cut it off again just to see. And sure enough, that's exactly what it looked like. And it was really, really, really bad.
I have a question for you, Nia, just from like a doctor perspective, because oftentimes we tell people don't smoke, don't drink alcohol because it can flare their psoriasis. Has that been your experience? I don't know if you do one